Welcome back, ladies. Let's Gamers8 Tekken 7 Nations Cup here. We just saw Saudi Arabia versus South Africa. The clean sweep from Saudi Arabia. I'm your host, Spag, and this time I am joined by MYK and a replacement here before Rip. How you doing, my friend?
Feeling great, man. I'm happy to be here. Obviously, the first match was crazy, and things are only going to get crazier today. I think that's the best part.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Absolutely. The next one's going to be a banger. I can't wait to see it.
Yep, our next match is actually the match to watch that we were talking about, right? It is going to be Peru going up against USA. Let's talk about this one, lads. Let's talk about this one. What are we expecting to see?
Ooh, I mean, we're both from USA, so we're a little sentimental about like our boys out here, but I've been hyping up Peru all week. So Abel, Sergey, world-class level players, it's not going to be easy for them.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like Abel has shown time and time again that he's proven that he can be on the world stage, right? He's been a T2 finalist multiple times. I feel like this is his moment to really shine and dominate against all the teams. And this is such a great opportunity for him. Anakin though, Joey Fury, Joe Crush as a team, it's so crazy because you've got all these guys who use Jack, and only Anakin's really the one who's going to stick to Jack. The other ones might wander around the character select screen a little bit. So very interesting set here.
It's a very interesting set because we spoke about the US having 3 Jacks in the team, but on the flip side, we have Peru with the 2 Kazuyas, right? And that could be extremely interesting as well to see the matchup. We might very well just be getting Kazuya versus Jack for most of the set, right? What do you think?
I mean, I'm hype about it. I love seeing Kazuya, but American-made Jack is a different type of build quality.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I mean,
I see. What makes it different, Mikey?
it's sidekick down forward 2s, unlow parryable down back 1s.
Unlow parryable.
Unlow parryable.
Oh, he's never going to get low parry, not once in the entire
I don't
set.
know
calling
about
it
that,
now?
No, that's what Mike's saying.
I'm just saying
it's
hard.
Call.
Oh, so Mike's calling it.
It's a mic call.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you did mention, though, that Joey and Joe Crush do have different characters that they could go to. Do you think they're going to do that this set?
I believe so. Joe Crush has kind of been settling in on the Jack a little bit more, but he does have a very, very strong geese that we could expect out of him. But Joey Fury, he is #1. He has that Marduk. He's on a first-name basis with him, so I could expect him to pull out the Marduk here right now.
Now let's talk about some of the history that we've had with these players, right? Peru and USA. I remember back in Tekken Tag 2, when Peru started to come onto the scene, a lot of the players and the fans from that region were saying, look, we are better than the US. We're better than you guys, right?
Wow.
I remember for the final rounds at these tournaments.
You're such an instigator, Spag.
I'm trying to set the scene, bro. I'm trying to set the scene.
Go on.
What I'm saying is, Peru, they had something to prove. They wanted to prove. And I think that back then, the target was USA. You guys had, the most well-known players around the world outside of Asia. And they wanted to say to you guys, we are better than you, right? And after that, when we've seen Abel the Maestro, one of the only guys to ever beat JDCR in a tournament in Tekken Tag 2, and then beating Anakin at the Tekken World Tour Finals with the Eliza. I mean, there is history. And of course, Joey Fury this year for the Tekken World Tour, last year, sorry, demolished Sergey Master, I feel like, in the tournament, right? So there's a lot of back and forth, I feel like, there's been between Peru and USA, and I think the selector match might be more significant for this set than for most of them. What do you guys think?
I mean, even in the last set that we saw a different character choice coming out of Spaghetti. So I'm wondering if we might even see that in the selector match as well. But yeah, of course, a lot of history before, both these countries fighting against each other. But Joe Crush is kind of the wild card. He's kind of like this new up-and-coming kid that came out of the pandemic era as well. So it's just like, a lot of people might not be familiar with his playstyle, not a lot of data on him, especially if they don't go up against each other online a lot.
Exactly. When I think about Peru, I feel like Barba's kind of the same position as Joe Crush. And he is this wild card, right? And, Spag, to your point, talking about the selector match being important here, I think that USA's decision on who goes first, knowing that is way more important than knowing it from the Peru side, right? Because really? I think so. Because I think if you put Barba first, then it doesn't really matter as much. It's still unpredictable for the US to figure out who's going to be in that boss match position, which makes it harder for the USA to counterpick there. But if the USA side, you know who goes first, that's a lot easier to figure out who you want to put in your boss position.
Who's going to be your key player from both teams there? What do you guys think? For me, I'll tell you what I think. I think Abel the Maestro is going to be extremely important, and I also feel like Joe Crush on the USA team, just to let these guys like Anakin and Joey know that I'm here to play.
Absolutely, but Anakin playing at the highest levels, at the highest world, stages, the biggest stages in the world. I think he's kind of used to that pressure, so I think we can expect him in the boss position. Okay. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that it's very curious with the USA side. I think Joey Fury could easily be in that boss position. I feel like they might even use that as part of their strategy, that everyone expects Anakin to be there, but Joey's just as clutch and he can be there as well. So I really don't know what's going to happen with the USA side. I think it's going to be team by team dependent. I feel like if they expect Abel to be in that final position, then it might be based off of that specifically.
Very quickly, who's taking this? I don't even know why I'm asking, but who's taking this? MRK.
That's a hard one, man. USA, USA.
For USA.
Right, let's go over to the stage for USA versus Peru.
And welcome back to Nations Cup Tekken 7 3v3 Invitational Team Tournament. Guys, if you're enjoying yourself, can I get some noise from the crowd, please? I know you guys are enjoying yourself. We have so many more amazing matches for you guys. I'm trying to tell you right now. This next one is definitely a little personal to me, so I can't wait for you guys to see the team. But things are about to get even more interesting on the side of Tekken, because once again, these next two teams have a lot on the line.
هذا اللي شفناه فعلا في المباريات الحاليه، ما كانت معنا الا مباراه واحده بس، لكن ما زلنا في بدايه المشوار وما زال معنا برضو في المنتخبات الثانيه. المباراه الحاليه اللي راح تكون معنا ما هي مباراه سهله، فخلونا نبدا ونرحب معنا بالفريق الاول مع ستيف.
With that being said, let me introduce our next team to battle on the stage. Guys, please welcome Peru! Now, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I've been to a Tekken TXT tournament or two, and I've seen these guys play some of the craziest Tekken. And by that, I mean they know how to take advantage of their opponent, and they're very brave with some of their call-outs. But I'm going to tell you right now, these guys have kept Tekken alive for years, and some of them, to my knowledge, didn't even have Tekken 7 when it came out. They were playing older versions of the game to stay sharp.
فريق بيرو عندهم خبرة كبيرة مرة في هذه اللعبة، وفعلا كانوا يلعبونها قبل إصدار لعبة تيكن 7. راح ينافسون على المنافسة الأكبر لهذه اللعبة. هنا موجودين معنا ومتحمسين، راح نشوف أداء العالي اللي متعودين منهم دائما هنا معنا على المسرح. راح نشوف مستوى أسطوري ومباراة رهيبة. والحين برضو راح نبدا نرحب معنا بالفريق الثاني، منافسه برضو جدا قوي، وراح يبدا فينا المباراه الاولى. اعزائنا المشاهدين، اعزائنا الحضور، رحبوا معنا في منتخب الولايات المتحده الامريكيه.
Yeah, the good old USA, man. Look, I'm very proud of my boys up there, and I'm definitely a fan of the Tekken they've been playing. Anakin, one of the best in the world, if you ask me. Joey Fury of the Love and Care brand, one of the best in the world. And one of the young guns, I like to say myself, young Joey Crush. These guys are some of the best from the USA. I can tell you that right now.
معنا افضل اللاعبين تكن من الولايات المتحده الامريكيه اللي جالسين نشوفهم ينافسون على اللقب الحالي. وصحيح حتى برضو معهم الكابتن اللي تزيد خبرته اكثر من 7 سنوات، وهو محقق الالقاب في هذه الرحله. وحتى برضو معهم لاعبين يافعين جالسين يسطعون، وصلوا معنا الى مرحله جدا بعيده في هذه المنافسه اللي راح نستمتع فيها وراح نبداها بعد شوي.
Well, these guys have definitely fought in a Tekken game or two before, but we need the action to happen. So with that being said, we're going to send it to the desk.
هذا اللي جالسين نشوفه الحين، وفعلا راح نبدا فيها المباراه الحاليه. فاعزائي المشاهدين والحضور، متحمسين نبدا فيها المباراه، خلونا ننتقل على طول على المعلقين.
Yes, we are here. Gamers8, Saudi Arabia, the beautiful. Here we go. I am so excited. My name is Sam Nading, and I'm joined by Majin Obama. How are you, my friend?
Bruh, I've been waiting for this all day. Here we go, baby. And look, like Sam, let's get it off the table, bro. You out there, I see you in your ivory tower in Europe. I see the things you guys say on Twitter. This is like, for you, how does this feel, man? You get to watch the Battle of the Americas. Like, what are you thinking when you see this team lineup?
I mean, it's definitely. I mean, I'm trying to think who has the kind of scariest stare down here. Like, I mean, if I'm sitting in the Peru camp and I'm looking at those 3 boys ahead of me, I'm thinking this is kind of rough. But from the same, like, flip that around, if I'm sitting on the USA bench and I'm looking and I'm thinking about all the stats that Peru have already accomplished, I don't know, man. It seems it's a 50-50. I mean, I think if we take it just based, like, take all of the USA, like, staff that we have on here, take all of those guys out or whatever, and just put it down to raw Tekken play, I think we're coming up about 50-50 here.
Yeah, and I like what Rip, Spag, and MYK brought to the table in terms of the conversation about the team lineup aspect of this, too. There's kind of a two-way mix-up on both sides, you know? Joey or Anakin could fulfill that boss leadership position, which is worth the 2 points in the match setting. That's very important because, you know, like and on the other side, same thing with Abel, same thing with Sergey, right? Yeah. And the problem is, like, dude, at worst, you just need one person on your team to step up really hard. Yeah. You know? And when you consider that, it's not like this is an adjusted Waseda style kind of format. So it doesn't mean everyone has to win on the same team. But at the same time, with this group, we got to talk about the group pairings, right? Yeah. This is Peru, USA, France, and Jordan in the same group. This is that three-way fight between the Peruvian team, the USA team, and the French team. If it comes down to a tiebreaker scenario, you got to be worried about match differentials. You got to be worried about game differentials. So it's important for whoever steps up here to perform well. But first, we got to talk about the selector match that's coming up. Are these the two that are stepping up for it?
Dude, this is about to be sick.
Now, what's also interesting too is, man, I'm thinking about character selection for this. You know, because obviously the USA team, they all have that Jack DNA in them. But I think I think what you're going to see, only one is going to be really fronting Jack this whole set.
Yeah, and I mean, I think especially for the selector match here, I think you do want to take that Marduk into this for that super aggressive kind of, you know, it's only 2 rounds and you need to get both of them on the board if you want to kind of take that big advantage going into the actual best of 2 or best of 3, 3v3 format here.
You know, another question I have, like, kind of lingering in the back of my mind too, is Sergey obviously we saw him at the TWT final earlier this year. One of the players in his group at that TWT final, you remember, Joey Fury.
Yes.
Right? And in that set that they played, I mean, Joey had pretty dominant control for most of it. Yeah. He was opening himself up to a lot of lows throughout the set, but he played with very, very high confidence levels. So I'm thinking when it gets to actual match play time, is that a matchup that Peru wants to challenge again? Is Sergey feeling like he's, you know, is he feeling like he's improved? Has he learned something in the 6 months since we saw that final? And he wants to take on Joey again? Are they going to try to play this matchup, Yomi, where they want Sergey to go up against him, or are they going to try to play it in a way to where maybe somebody else like Abel has to deal with him, or put a Barba Dorado up against him? There's a few questions there, because the thing is, this Peruvian team is super nasty, dude. You kind of forget, but Abel is a player who is also, he's been all over the world and he's performed on really big stages. You got to remember, this is a dude that went to Korea for a Tekken Master event and got top 8. And I don't think anybody had him picked. I sure as hell didn't have him picked to do that weekend, but he did it. You know, this is a dude who has performed on really big stages.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm just thinking about that. The way Joey Fury bet Sergey Master, you know, in the TWT finals and stuff, I feel like at this level of Tekken, when you take those losses, you have to go into the lab and work out exactly what you lost, what's about to happen, and how you can improve on it. So maybe that's the shout here. So here for the selector match, ladies and gentlemen, it is a 2-round. We have Sergey Master representing the Peru nation versus Joey Fury on the Jack with USA.
This is what I thought might happen. I think maybe during actual match play, maybe he relies on Marduk. But for the selector match like this, run Jack, you know?
Okay. Well,
if you have the options, you know, why not flex them?
Yeah, sure.
Sergey, though, oh my God, bringing out the baddest girl in the game. Oh my God.
He wants that 2-round, man, that bamboozlement. Like, let's go. Okay.
Joey right away, showing guard, stepping right.
Yep.
Chip lows coming into play here. And slowly pushing towards the wall is Sergey.
Okay. Here we go, Joey Fury's answer back now, trying with those down 4-2s already. Big range on the planting seeds.
Just like that, it's even again. Oh,
there
counter
we go.
hit launch, and you know Sergey's gonna get the ball for this.
Very close already. Remember, guys, the first round win determines the side select for Game 1 and Game 3, and that might be it. Not just yet, but the full crowd. Sergey Master grants his team side selection for game 1, which is the opening, and game 3, which is the boss round.
Yeah, this is a hard. Oh my God! Right into an uppercut. That's not. I was about to talk about Jack's tools in mid-range like that. Yeah. Runs right into Zavina's uppercut like that. Minus 50%. Joey Fury.
Oh, the big armor. Man. I don't know, man. Would Joey Fury pull up like a sandbag sort of strat here? Play really easy here, maybe take that, the losses?
That guy doesn't sandbag. I think this one just, he bet on Jack in the side switch match, and I think it just didn't work out. I think when it comes time to play this actual set, even though they lost the side selector match, they lost 2 rounds to 0 in it, I think you're gonna see the full power Team USA. He's definitely gonna be running Monarch, I think. And I'm just a feeling,
Okay, so it would appear that Peru have won both rounds in our selector match, which means they get to choose the sides for game 1 and game 3, and they also get a reveal of who USA are bringing up first. So now, as you can see it here, they're discussing these strats. This 3v3 style tournament opens up a whole new level of strategy for Tekken, which we're so used to the 1v1 format that it's almost just micro adaptations happening in the game to see. But on this thing, you can kind of play a more bigger picture role.
Yeah, I mean, for those of us, you know, we've been here, we've been talking about this all weekend, right? Like, you kind of forget we've been so micro-focused on the tour, which, you know, has obviously done great things for the game and obviously done great things for the community. But we've become so micro-focused in the West on single entry format that you kind of forget, like, man, the team dynamic like this, like those Master Cups, like those SBO tournaments back in the day, this adds, like you said, a completely different dynamic to the game. And I think for some players, it might even be like a better format for for a certain kind of player. You know, that's the thing. And you see, when you're playing, I can't stress this enough. And with all the kinds of events that I've streamed and that I've been a part of, just team tournaments just carry a different kind of energy with them, man. You know, you want to think about how you feel when you play in tournament and you win, how that feels, that high. When you lose, how that feels, that low. In a team dynamic where you have 2 other dudes in your backpack, or where you got to look at them after a loss, after a win, it's a lot different than looking in the mirror. It's a higher high. It can be a lower low too.
Damn, man. Yeah. So they are playing for a lot on the line. So it would appear that Anakin is setting up, maybe, perhaps position 1 here. So for their opener match, so Peru get to choose who are they going to send, and they've got Barba coming down. Okay. So, like we're talking about the strategy, Anakin, you know, some might argue, I mean, it is kind of a throw up here, but Anakin could be one of the best players in the world right now, definitely one of the strongest players coming out of the USA in competing globally.
No, I mean, Anakin's still that dude to me. Like, it really just depends on the day and how he's feeling that weekend. When he's feeling good, when he's feeling confident, he's playing at his best, he can beat anybody in the world. Yep. And that's just the way it is.
We've seen him do it as well.
You know, I kind of put him in a similar class to Nobi, actually. Yeah. You know, it depends on the day. How's he feeling that day? If on his best day, he can be the best in the world. On an off day, he's still pretty damn good. He's still pretty sharp. He can still ride with the best of them. But it just kind of just depends on who shows up that day, right? How they're feeling. Yeah. So to me, you know, we've been out here a few days. It seems like I felt like the American team, when you talk to them, they've been pretty relaxed. They're pretty confident. They like this group. You know, it's America, it's USA, and France. You know, we're looking at the team roster for these groups. There are some obvious favorites that jump out. You know, the analysts have been talking about it all day. Obviously, Japan, Pakistan, Korea, that's on the tip of everyone's tongue when you talk about that. But I'd say both of these teams, honestly, both of these teams and the French team that are all in this group, they're in that, like, tier 2 cut of teams where at their best, they can be a threat to one of the top 3 favorites, right?
Yep, 100%.
So to me, it's those 3 teams, and Jordan's kind of the X factor in the mix, where they could probably play spoiler to maybe one of these other teams.
Yeah.
But this is an important set right here, and then I mean, I have to imagine this one's going to probably make a big difference going into the final group standings.
Yeah,
is the thing.
It's funny because we have the games already lined up on who's playing who. So the USA are playing against France later on.
Yeah, this is going to be their toughest day, I think, for sure. the fact that they got to start it off with going up against Peru and then they got to close it out by going up against France, that this is going to be the most competitive day for this group by far.
Yeah, and you can almost see it on the faces here. I mean, Anakin is kind of known as that stone-faced guy, but look behind him here. Joe Crush maybe showing a little bit of worry like on his face here. I'm kind of reading that just a little bit here. I mean, he's got an uphill battle ahead of him. I mean, if USA are to go 2-0 here in the bracket, it's that would be a surprise.
This is just my personal feeling, but I feel like rather than the Peruvian team, I feel like pressure. We'd be talking about that. You know, Anakin and Joey, they're well traveled enough to where like. Nerves are obviously still an issue for anybody and everybody. You know, they'll tell you that, but they're used to this, right?
Yeah.
But you got to put yourself in Joe Crush's shoes, right? Came out here just like a day and a half ago. You know, you don't know how he's feeling in terms of like time difference, jet lag, things like that. To my knowledge, I don't think he's traveled outside of the Americas for a big event like this kind of big invitational stage like this. Dude, there's LED lights on the floor and stuff like that. I'm sorry, dude, it's not like this in, whatever tournament in wherever in Texas, There's no LED lights on the floor. There's no augmented reality, Tasty Steve popping out of a cube and stuff like that. My thing is, can he stay focused and play his game and make a statement? And not be distracted by any of that. Keep his eyes, keep focused. Because the thing is, he's one of the best players in He's shown consistently he's one of the better players in North America, especially like MYK said, right? Coming out of this pandemic era, he's really shown significant growth and significant results. But now and this is a theme I think for a lot of players in teams, I would say for this event, is there's a perceivable gap. Sometimes when you play people in Tekken and you play someone who is a few weight classes above you in terms of skill and level and just game experience, you can perceive that gap. You can feel it in the gameplay. Like, man, I can't touch this guy.
Yeah.
His defense is too good, whatever case. For a lot of the players in some of these teams, they're starting to hit that gap where, okay, you're the best in your area, you're the best in your region, but now you're progressing to that level where now it's not just about being an international competitor, it's becoming an international threat.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a huge difference now. I mean, it's so funny because the game has been out so long now. I mean, 7 years of a competitive game.
7 going on 8. Dude, this game's old as hell.
This is, it's nearly old enough to buy a drink, man, but...
But Barba bringing out the Colonel, going up against the big American machine.
Ah, man, here we go. We're going to Abandoned Temple. Game 1 here.
This is, of course, a character matchup Anakin's going to be very familiar with, but for Barba,
I'm season 1?
Yeah, we're taking it back, right? Yeah, flashbacks to 2017.
Okay.
Right off the bat, uppercut.
Yeah,
Trade punishes there. Dump truck at the wall. Oh my God, punish with the get-up kick attempt.
Nice block. He is on
denying
the wall already.
Man, denying the razor like that too.
Okay.
Anakin, a strong statement in the opening round like that. Barba.
Yeah.
What you got for us? You see he hasn't even represented most of the options, right? So there it is. That's the first jackhammer of the set so far. But Anakin so far just kind of just playing in his comfort zone, playing his style, backing off, looking for whip punish opportunities right there, willing to play around the jackhammer, willing to play around the uppercuts, willing to play with the lows at the wall like that. Test you with your wall defense.
Yeah.
This character, man, it can be so imposing defensively, just especially against Anakin too. He can be very patient and very good at imposing his will on you at the wall like that. The uppercut stomping.
Got that old stuff, man. Okay, big tombstone as well. Look at this. Very fast.
Awesome whip punishing.
Yeah, and again, just stone-faced here. He doesn't show any
Production's
emotion.
trying to talk to him. But I like this. You know, as somebody who's trying to see this American team achieve really strong the results that I think a lot of people watching want to see from them in the Americas. You know, I like that focus. That's the Anakin that I want to see this weekend. You know.
Okay, so what can this Dragunov do to kind of put a hole in? It seemed like Anakin came out the gate swinging there. I mean, he got in very, very quickly and just played at that kind of range 0, range 1.
I mean, swinging mentally, dude. He backed off. The thing is, Barba never really gave him a reason to,
panic.
To panic or anything like that. He kind of just backed off. Barba threw some swings in, but because Anakin's movement is so good and his patience, and he's just like, dude, he was just all on cue with the whip punishes. And that's really, that was the story of that game.
Yeah. I've just noticed there, Barba seems to be playing his controller underneath a cloth or a t-shirt.
That's a Peruvian tech, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wait, man, jumping in the second game here.
Already in, and Anakin starting it off with a, oh no, wait. Must be like a button check or something. Or just a bit of a misfire there. And so, don't worry guys, this is not the game. Anakin is good, but I don't know if he's this good. Okay. Yeah, so it's probably because they went to the same stage or something, maybe.
Same stage, or maybe he misfired, maybe one of the character selects or something?
Yeah, yeah. Could possibly be here. But we'll get to it shortly. Yeah, so what do we think Barba can do here to get in? Do you think he just needs to have a little bit less respect, maybe kind of, you know, close that gap and push some buttons of his own?
I think a little bit more patience. He can't afford to try to force offense that isn't there.
Right.
You know, Anakin wasn't really letting him, you know, showing him anything. He's just backing off. But he's swinging, trying to anticipate Anakin, you know, doing something, but there wasn't anything there. And as a result, what happened? You lost 50% of your health. Now you're getting dump trucked at the wall.
Yeah.
You know, you can't give Anakin those easy ins. He has to be willing to try to navigate through the minefield that Jack presents, right? You got to look out for big stop signs like the explosion press.
Yeah.
You got to be looking out for stuff like jackhammer. You got to be looking, and of course the psychic uppercuts. You know, our analysts talked about it. You got to be able to use lateral stepping and even just 2D, you know, 2D movement, you know, back and forth movement, to be able to try to navigate that minefield and put yourself in a position where you can apply pressure to him like that. Because if you're just gonna whip buttons in front of Anakin's face, you're gonna make it too easy for him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Anakin is a world-class player here. Barba needs to kind of step up his game here a little bit. I really like I respect the attempt for the backswing ball right at the start, trying to catch him coming in here. But okay, here we go. Down forward 2 from Anakin straight off. Yeah,
and Anakin's done a really good job this set so far of just denying too much control from the lows.
Yeah.
Like, he's gotten hit by, like, what, 2 razors, 1 razor, 2 razors, something like that.
No, that is not a good sign for Barba. First big launch of the game.
Yeah,
and
you cannot afford to give Anakin that many opportunities and that many get-out-of-jail-free cards, especially like this. Especially at that position in the stage, too, where he's just, you know, he's going to have wall control. Didn't even come into play there just because of the health difference, but, man.
Okay. I like that he's still trying the down 2s, even though it got big low parried. And sometimes a low parry like that can kind of take it out of your arsenal entirely.
There we go, Russian assault. Anakin's still in control here. Again, just watch how he just hit and run. Just back off. He knows that Barba is impatient. He knows that he's going to try to swing. Wait for it to come.
Okay.
Okay, Barba being a little bit more patient now.
Yeah.
Trying to get Anakin to bite early, but he's not. He's not taking the bait.
Yeah, he's just so cool and collected right now. He's just playing his game, and Barba doesn't seem to be doing anything to kind of stop it here. And then sweet. Nice. Eesh, maybe pushing buttons wasn't the best idea there. Keeps him upstairs.
Keeps him upstairs. Yeah, he wanted to opt for the wall pressure there. And then just, talk to the hand. Anakin stone cold.
Damn, 2-0. No problem. Damn, fighting out of Atlanta.
And like we said before earlier, guys, you got to remember this is a special kind of adjusted Waseda format. But in the event that there are tiebreakers, it comes down to match differentials in terms of games won and lost, in terms of sets won and lost. So you got to think in this Group A where you're talking about, again, USA, Peru, France, and Jordan. Yeah. I mean, the potential for something like that to happen, like, you got to be able to just perform the whole way through, especially in this set and against France. I think it's going to be really important for USA if they want to make sure that they get out on top. And that's something that they talked about, is like, man, looking at their group, they felt like they could get out winner side. You know, at worst, they felt like they could get out on losers. At best, they're fighting for the top, you know?
Yeah,
that's and they spoke pretty confidently about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of kind of hiccups. I mean, Peru are definitely going to be ones that are going to be the speed bump on their otherwise kind of like what they're kind of imagining as a clear path and stuff. But France as well later on today is going to be a very
that's going to be
difficult
the matchup of Group A for sure.
With a legend, a young legend, Anakin. You guys are already off to a ridiculous start. The Jack Army is looking real strong right now. How did you feel going into this first one? I know you guys are under a lot of pressure, and I think you guys are playing twice today. So how are you feeling?
Yeah, it's a big day today for Team USA. We've got two of arguably our biggest matches of the group phase in Peru, the #1 seed, and France, a very strong 3 seed. You know, I don't even know how they're the 3 seed, but yeah. We've been planning it all week long, and we've been discussing it with our captain and then our X Factor, Joe Crush. We feel very, very confident, but at the same time, we got to be cautious of all the players in this competition. They're here for a reason, and we knew it was very important to get off to a strong start, and I'm usually good for that.
هذا اللي شفناه قبل شوي من مباراة فريق الأمريكي. صحيح أن عندهم مباراتين اليوم، فكان السؤال كيف راح تكون مباراتكم؟ كيف قدرتوا تستعدون في هذه المنافسة؟ مباراة الأولى هي صعبة، فكانت الإجابة أن اللاعبين وحتى برضو كانوا متجهزين ومتأهبين لهذه المنافسة. صحيح أنهم عارفين أنها ضد فريقين جدا قوية، لكنهم كانوا متميزين بشكل أكثر وثقتهم عالية برضو في المجموعة، ومتأكدين أنهم راح يكملون ويكملون بالانتصارات فيها.
Now, with that being said, you guys seem to have a collective, pretty straightforward strategy, but a lot of little pieces going into it. Did you guys really sit down and talk about the strategy going forward? I know you said you've been meeting with them, but I feel like you guys got a finite strategy for all the teams you guys might be potentially coming up against. Is that true?
Absolutely. When it comes to the team tournament element of things, there are so many more things to consider different to like that of the 1 versus 1 tournament. In the solos tournament, you're just thinking about yourself. I just need to play the best that I can, but then with the lineups, the picking, these new rules, a side selector and the rival reveal and everything, where me and Joey have planned all week, you know, prior to Joe Crush arriving just last night, we were thinking, what happens if we lose this? What happens if we win this? What happens if they put this player up? What player are you comfortable, not comfortable against? We pretty much ran through every single scenario in our heads and we discussed it openly, and I think that really helps us prepare for a tournament like this.
صحيح اللي شفناه قبل شوي من المنتخب الامريكي، صحيح قدروا يتفوقون في المباراه، لكن كان في السؤال كيف قدرتوا تخططون وتبنون استراتيجيه جدا ممتازه في هذه المنافسه، خصوصا انها منافسه عالميه وحتى برضه بقواعد شوي مختلفه، لكن الحين برضه كانت الاجابه قال لنا صحيح ان كنا متعودين على منافسات اللي تكون لاعب ضد لاعب او لاعبين ضد لاعبين، هذه صحيح انه يبغى لها اعداد بشكل مختلف، وكانوا عاملين حساب لكل من انواع السيناريوهات اللي ممكن تكون، ممكن يلعب من اللاعب اللي يرتاح يلعب ضد مين، فهذا اللي اعطتهم اريحيه وثقه اعلى في هذه المنافسه، ففعلا اداء اسطوري. اعزائي المشاهدين، اعطونا احلى واكبر تحيه للمنتخب الامريكي.
So I got one more question. I'm gonna let you get back to it. I was gonna say, man, you've been like in shape. You ran like a 15K or something like that. How does that go into like your gameplay style? Because I know a lot of people like, yo, man, we're gamers. We don't touch grass. You know how it goes. But talk to the people about that, because you've definitely changed up your lifestyle a lot, especially to get to this point.
Yeah, it's not really the stereotype these days. Gamers, strong body, strong minds, what they say. I've been working a lot with the Red Bulls Athlete Performance Center out there in Santa Monica, and just really understanding how important it is to do everything outside of the game as far as physical fitness, nutritional fitness, and everything like that. And I've definitely seen the results. A lot of changes I've made to my game and my preparation this year. I'm really hoping that they pay off, and this could be the start of something great.
Yo, you know I see it, and I'm a fan. I appreciate it. Just chill.
صحيح اللاعب نفسه تغير الاسلوب حقه، اسلوب حياته تماما من اول ما بدا يحترف في هذه اللعبه وفي البطولات، لكن برضو كانت الاجابه من اللاعب انه صحيح سيناريو او خلينا نقول حياته بشكل كامله كلها قدرت انها تتغير بشكل ايجابي اكثر. الناس ممكن تتوقع وخلينا نقول الصوره النمطيه عن اللاعبين انه دائما متكي يلعب، وحتى برضو متكي في حجرته وخلينا نقول ما ياخذ وقت راحه ولا يستهمل ولا حتى برضو يروح يلعب في الرياضات الالكترونيه او رياضات حتى برضو تقليديه، لكن الواقع انه لا، انه يحتاج يلعب رياضه، يحتاج يهتم في بنيته الجسديه، وفعلا هذا اللي كان منه. ولكن الحين باقي معنا في المباريات الجايه فعلا اداء اسطوري وفعلا مستوى عالمي اللي وصلنا معنا في المرحله العالميه. مشاهدينا الكرام، تحيه ثانيه للمنتخب الامريكي على الاداء الاسطوري في هذه المباراه.
With that being said, we're going to send it back to the casters for more Tekken action.
والحين اعزائي المشاهدين باقي المباراه راح نكملها، خلينا ننتقل الى المعلقين نستكمل فيها المباراه.
Okay, we are back now. We saw a very swift 2-0 there for Anakin. Now, what are we going to see up next?
Yo, real quick, Sam, before we get to this X Factor match, right? I got to give props to that host, man. You know how crazy that is to be translating for Tasty Steve and Anakin on the spot in Arabic. You know how crazy, like that's. I've been in that interpretation Odyssey before. That is not an easy job, and then just being able to do that on the spot for them. Anyway, getting back to the match, this is going to be match 2 of our team 4A here, and then it's Joe Crush, I think the biggest X factor on Team USA for a lot of people, especially people maybe who haven't been watching so much, the ICFCs or a lot of the North American-based tournaments and not as familiar with them maybe as much as Joe Crush or Anakin. But I mean, as much as Joey Fury or Anakin. But this is the big tell for me is, man, you saw Anakin, they put him up front like that. You have Joe Crush running second, so that means obviously Joey Fury is going to be the boss here, which, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's kind of one of the strengths of this USA team lineup. But my thing is going up against Sergey here.
Yeah, I mean, Sergey...
Joe running the machine.
Okay, so we're seeing Jax galore versus Kazuya. Man, we're getting like a history lesson on competitive Tekken right now. We saw the Nav versus the Jack, then we're getting the Jack versus Kazuya, man. This is going to be an interesting one. So USA already leading with 1 point. So this next game is worth another 1 point with the boss fight coming up as 2. Oh, I just realized that means Abel the Maestro is Peru's boss.
So you're going to get Abel versus Joey Fury after this one. And
damn, dude, these games are sick.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
It's already getting pretty dicey. This is an intense set.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to the Forgotten Realm as well. Potential for big damage here. Yo, I like it. Wait, did they all have their own Jack presets? Let's go.
Fight.
Okay. Here's the go.
Sergey already stepping right side, guarding against Jackhammer. Willing to back off here. Uppercut in center stage. Gonna drop. Take the wall. Yep. That's 1 floor broken. And that's a lot of damage at the wall like that, man.
Okay, dominance here from Sergey Master.
Axe kick's trying to lock him down. Crush looking for an opening, not gonna get it. That step thrust kick.
Round 2.
Sergey with control so far.
Yeah, very much
clean step.
Very clean.
Just a little bit slow on pulling the trigger. Lets it go. That's okay.
Good punish. Oh, downstairs.
It's another break.
Big damage here.
Joe Crush gonna get the wall as well. Lean that shoulder into him. Spring kick. That was a good bet.
Damn, took his legs out with the shotgun here. 1-1 here on the round count. All even Stevens here. Joe Crush, Sergey Master. Got USA versus Peru. Spins him.
To the hand. Dawson boot at the wall. Sergey
KO.
Enraged, steps right into that low kick, and now Joe Crush. Okay.
Yeah.
With advantage here.
Damn, starts
with the raw upper. All right.
Gotta appreciate it. Oh, doesn't need it. Doesn't need that hit. See him checking for the crouch grab.
Went for the crouch grab. Sergey gets up right away.
Great little whip punish there. So smart, just a backdash out of the way of it here, and just whip punish perfectly. Doesn't get the wall here, but doesn't need it. 2-2 final round, game 1 now.
Yeah, finds the low on the rollout. Big game here. Big game, I think, especially for Joe, too, just for confidence.
Yeah, definitely. First game on the big stage.
For both players on both sides,
Yeah. Nice low parry here. Breaks the wall, or breaks the floor.
Back again, now to the bottom floor here. On the wall, off the wall. Big wheel kick.
He's trying, the Lisa Simpson into the hell sweep.
Plus range, where you going with it, Joe?
He's got that rage, you gotta watch for that.
Just gets hit by the last. Debunk just got range.
Damn. Jackhammer. Plants it, one more. Joe Crush taking game 1, and look at it, big pop-off coming in. Hit that desk. He said, I know you never heard of me. This is what I do.
That's big, like we said, for his confidence. You gotta remember, he came here late. I don't think Joe Crush has ever been like this far out competing on a stage like this. So you could tell, but just from the second he sat down, there was a sense of nervousness on his side, very anxious, you know?
Yeah.
But the fact that he stood up out of his chair just after winning one game like that, like, bro, you gotta play first, like, it's a set, man.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But that tells you a lot about just like how he was feeling going into this, and again, what that does for his confidence levels.
Yeah, no, totally. I loved it when he turned around and all you can see was Joey Fury. He said to him, just one more, just one more. He put the arm up. That's all he needs. He just needs one more game here. Yeah, you gotta love it. Look at this, look. Yeah, it's almost like everything just kind of gets him. There we go. Popping off. All right.
That should tell you something about the intensity here, right? It's just like, and it's also the process of building a team victory one round at a time, right?
Yeah.
You're not trying to like, you're not worried about what's far out in front of you. Like, bro, worry about this set right here, right now. Worry about this round. Every round to him felt like very intense. You can tell him just like pumping his fist and stuff like that after just round by round like that.
Yeah, I mean, but sometimes that's what you need to do, you know? And I think it's very important for Joe Crush to stay in that mindset here of just take it a round at a time, a game at a time, you know? And look at the bigger picture stuff as soon as we get into it. But here we go. Game 2 now. As Joey Fury said, just one more is needed for Joe Crush. Sergey Master falling behind a little.
Wonder if there's a character pixel? No, he's running cause.
All right.
Full committed.
Yeah, and we got the Mishima Dojo. Okay, no floor breaks, but you know, a little bit of space to move around here. All right, and we are into the game here now.
Round 1.
And they're off. Already. Ooh, he's trying some stuff here, man.
Counter hit axe kick there.
Oozing with confidence.
Just short of the wall. Running attack. Joe Crush trying to interrupt him. Flash punch combo. In the sweep. Ooh. Low, running wall pressure here. Blast punch, running low jab.
Big comeback! Huge! Wow, that was all Sergey Master's round. Out of nowhere, just a couple of right decisions there made by Joe Crush.
Sam, were you looking at the player cam when that happened?
No.
Like, this is confidence. This is him building confidence in himself.
Damn, man, he's got to be feeling great right now.
Cross chop, blast at the wall.
Just stays there. Oh, made a little...
Trying to lay on him? No, jump front, stop.
Okay, Hellsweep's back out. Can Sergey Master switch it back on its head? No. Very swift. Down back one is just going to take him to 2 rounds. One more round, and he keeps trying that.
These low machine gun jabs, these low machine gun knuckles, playing their role in this set too. A lot of chip damage and just interruption potential.
Yeah. Okay.
And now you're playing at this range with this oh my god, the wall pressure.
Yeah, scary. Kazuya definitely not one of the characters known for having panic moves or kind of get off me tools. So Joe Crush playing this matchup absolutely perfectly here. But let's see, can Sergey Master get back in now? Pixel of health, you gotta be afraid. He made that incredible comeback in round 1 here. You have to finish your food. Don't leave any food left on the plate. Down forward 2.
Counter hit, look at this reward. Wow, minus 60% just like that. Yeah. 2 or 3 hits. This is familiar territory. This is where a lot of this game in particular has been fought, and this is where things can turn around here. Joe Crush.
Okay. Oh, he gets it after so long. Oh no, it doesn't get the peel off the wall. Last chance now for Sergey Master. Oh. There we go, we're up. Blue stuff spent. The one. Oh, he gets it! Joe Crush is off his seat. Down. Woo! That was sick. Who counted Joe Crush out? Who counted him out?
Wow. The big thing for him too, I think especially for Joe, is that set, especially the way it went down, that is the confidence builder he needed.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Not even that he necessarily doubts himself on a regular basis or anything, but it's like unfamiliar territory like this, your nerves might be hitting you a little bit different, but when you sit down and play like that and perform like that against a competitor who has had a lot of has had more travel experience than you. You know, you talk about the stages that Sergey has played on, where he comes from. You know, that's big. That's big to be able to do that for yourself, not just for your team, but for yourself. Especially going into the sets that they're going to have later today. That's a big deal.
Yeah, just based on that game right now, what we've seen from Team USA, they are a strong contender to make it into the upper bracket here going into day 3 after the group stages.
And man, what a set! This was the wall pressure in particular. You said, you know, talk about this dojo stage. How did Joe Crush just find the wall pressure like this every round?
Every round, it was in that position that it would seem like Sergey Master had the life lead, but Joe Crush just had that sort of map awareness.
He would find a moment where he had positional advantage, and he seized the moment every time. Took some big bets, and they paid off. And with that said, let's check out and see what Tasty Steve got to say.
All right, well, USA in the lead here, 2-0. And it seems like we're getting a bit of a pattern here. You know, in the last set, we had the selector match going for the losing team, and then they, you know, lost the next 2 matches as well. What do we make of this one right now, lads?
I mean, Anakin came out of the, you know, swinging right out of the gate. I mean, like, even during the interview part with Steve, too, he said that, you know, I think I'm good for the first game. I'm good for taking the first points as well. Anakin definitely showed up for that.
No, I totally agree with that. I mean, it's really interesting that they've still stuck with the Jack so far. It really makes me wonder what the strategy is here, because I thought we would get a Gi somewhere along the way, but, you know, Joe Crush, he looked very good there.
Yeah, and with Anakin going first, I mean, we were all talking about that one backstage. We were thinking, you know, why did Anakin go first? You would expect him to be the boss, right? But maybe, I mean, this is what just from my thinking, that maybe they're emphasizing the importance of winning the first game for momentum. What do you guys think?
Yeah, and it's also a confidence boost as well, and we're definitely seeing that out of both the games, both the teams that we have seen up on stream so far.
No, exactly. I mean, I think that, you know, the confidence boost and winning that first game really put your team in a good mindset going forward, right? The crazy thing about the format, of course, is that they both won, but it doesn't really matter, right? Because obviously, if Joey Fury loses, we're still in a tie situation.
Yeah, and you know, now that we know, you know, what the second match was, which we'll talk about as well, we know that it's going to be Abel the Maestro going up against Joey Fury for that final boss match. But let's talk about that second match that we just saw. The Joe Crush going up against Sergey Master. Sergey Master, who was the winner of the last Master event that happened in South America, right? MLK, you were there, right?
Correct,
so,
yeah.
But man, Joe Crush really turned up there.
Yeah, Joe Crush, you know, the first match was really, really close. There was a couple situations where it looked like it could really go Sergey's way, but then luckily, there was a moment where the raise drive whiffed and looked like Sergey was looking to low parry it. But then ever since that, it was a lucky break for Joe Crush. Got the game, he popped off like he won the whole thing already.
Put both his arms like, yeah, that's right. I did it. Don't ever doubt me again. Like,
I think that shows that.
Yeah, right there, this moment right there, the raise drive, Sergey looked like he was looking to block it, but then it was just barely out of range on the low part. So right there, the full cross little mini uppercuts, that's one of Joe's favorites, and he made it work there.
Sidewalked the wrong way as well, went right, and that's why the jackhammer hit. But yeah, I think the pop-off, definitely, because there's not a lot of stress for this tournament. Big whiff on the rage drive.
Huge.
And the while standing 2 there to finish it off. I mean, Sergey Master definitely not going to be feeling good about that one. But as you said, Rip, does it really matter? Because the boss match is where it really counts. You have Abel the Maestro now going up against Joey Fury. What do we make of this one?
This one's really, really interesting, right? I mean, from the characters here, let me ask you guys, what do you guys think Abel's going to go here? Is it going to be the Eliza?
Ah, man, I think so. I think that we're going to go for Eddie. Because this is first to 3, right? The Eddie, might, from what I've heard, is the character that he's been going for. But the Eliza is the character that he took out Anakin with at TEKKEN World Tour Finals before in 2019.
But it's a different kind of Jack.
It is.
It's a different kind of Jack.
It might not even be a Jack. It might be a Marduk, right? I mean, we might get both. We might even get Fang Wei out of Joey. That's the thing. Joey's been playing so many characters. Lately, he's been focusing on the Jack 7 again, though, right? Like, he had Marduk for most of the year, but Jack 7's come back into the rotation. He looked fantastic. Obviously, TWT Finals, he made top 7 there. So, you know, Joey's been in prime form the last few months right now. Obviously, picked up by FaZe. He's looking really good right now. But Abel is one of those guys that I haven't seen these two specifically play each other a whole lot.
No,
so
yeah, Joey Fury versus
Abel
Abel the Maestro. I feel like the Anakin pick may have thrown Peru off. We were talking about how maybe sending the weaker player to go up against Anakin would be a good choice because you leave your next 2 players for the boss match and the middle match.
Right.
Was that the right choice now, though, thinking with hindsight? I mean, did you maybe want to get off to a good start there to get that point on the board?
I mean, you know, USA losing the selector match sent up Anakin first, right? So it's like, that was the play. I think they really forced Peru, send up Abel right now. It's like, do it, because like, if you save him for the boss, it might be too late.
I think they may have been trying to avoid the Sergey Master versus Joey Fury match because that was the match that went in Joey Fury's favor very, very heavily. But you start thinking like that, I think that this is the kind of situation that will occur, right, Rip?
I mean, even if you look at the way that Barba started off, right? They lost a point there, but it doesn't still really matter because the boss match can still tie here. If Sergey wins against Joe Crush, that still puts him in the lead, they win. But now, worst case scenario, you can still get the tie with Abel winning. So I feel like putting Barba against Anakin was probably still the better strategy. And Sergey was pretty close against Joe Crush. You know, the games were close, but just didn't quite get it done, right? So now, pressure's on Abel to get this done against Joey Fury. And it's a lot of pressure in this situation because obviously they're down. They don't want to go down 4-0. It might happen.
We heard Rive talking about how the first 2 matches going their way really put the pressure off him because losing the boss match now doesn't mean that you're going to lose the set. Right. It just goes to a tiebreak situation. And I'm thinking, I know Joey very well. You guys do too. Joey with no pressure? That's scary. That's a scary player to play against.
But he can't take it too lightly either because, like Rip said,
TWT Finals.
TWT Finals and the scores. The boss battle counts for 2. They could tie it all up here. So Joey still got work to do.
And if that happens, it could be a situation where Abel has to go again against maybe an Anakin for the tiebreak. That's not good either.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's go over now to the stage to conclude this match. Peru versus USA.
All right, we are back here now with the boss match. This is where it all comes down. Look at the pressure on Abel the Maestro's face. He's usually a guy, it's very difficult to read, but I can see it there, Obama.
Dude, he looks the same as he always does. That dude always looks stone cold, except unless you're taking pictures or something, like he'll crack a smile. But this is an intense match, man. And yo, I gotta apologize to Spag and Spag, Rip, and NYK. I called him Tasty Steve. That's my. You know I wasn't paying attention every rehearsal, man. But look, this is gonna be an intense set. You know, Joey Fury. I agree with what Rip said too. Like playing the matchup with the team lineup, yo, I think this is one where USA might have really played this well. And you gotta peek the new tag on him. FaZe playing Joey Fury. All right.
Oh,
and
damn.
Here we go. Yeah, he's bringing out Craig.
Okay, and we did get the Eliza pick as well, so apparently Abel has been going to the Eddie as of recently, but maybe this is something matchup specific. You see, this is the thing, we were talking about it earlier on, the team dynamic, different tournaments or whatever. You can actually practice the matchup because you can get a kind of a rough idea who's going to play against who.
You know, and that's an interesting thought too, because at this point of this set, with the way that this team format works, Abel, like Rip said, Abel, if he wins this set, he's going to have to win. He's going to have to go up against probably either Joey again or Anakin. But you got to, it has to start with this one first, right? Don't even think about that yet.
Definitely.
This is Abel del Maestro, Eliza, FaZe, Joey Fury, Craig Marduk.
All right.
Round 1.
Here we go, the boss match worth 2 points. As we touched on here.
Right off the bat, Abel let him know, if you want to start attacking me in neutral, I am ready for the break.
Yup. Ooh, doesn't get the last
break,
hit there.
but there we go. Yeah. Running the dive kick pressure, dive kick loops, trying to get a little bit of the extra carry out of it. A little bit of extra meter build. That's the thing. Once this character gets access to the half a bar like that, all of a sudden it gets real scary, having to deal with that down B, having to deal with that crouch jab, and the threat of big damage punishes behind that, even at the 10th ring level.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a boss match, it is first and 3, but a quick meter burn. Abel the Maestro going to take round 1.
Fight.
It's good. Abel kind of playing loose and very liberal with his meter as well. He's willing to clock out, take the damage where he can, just to be able to seal the round like that.
Yeah.
While standing 2, nosebleed. Craig trying to lean that shoulder into her, go over the wave. Looking for the flash hook. Representing the upboard 3, that knee, yeah, the crushing knee.
Good. Okay, counter hit on the dive kick. Grants him all his combo, and look at the meter that's been built up right now, Majin.
And you gotta
full barrels.
Exactly, yo. You get two full stacks and stocks like that, and you gotta give props to Abel's execution too. He's consistently just dive kick loop, dive kick feint there. You see?
Yeah.
No drop so far. He's playing very sharp.
Absolutely. God, you gotta be so afraid of that that meter in the bottom left of the corner, right? There we go. There's one.
Look at the reward on this punish one. Just Joey Fury puts 1 down 4 out there. He lost 60% of his health. Parallel to the wall here. That's a wrap.
That's it. Oh. Okay. Last chance left here, but 3-0 there. A very quick game 1 here.
And you saw similar to Joe Crush, right? When he clinches that first game. For Abel, at this point, it's a scenario where your entire team, and maybe even the fate of your team in this group stage is resting on your shoulders. And that's something else to think about too. My image is like Abel is kind of a more experienced, an older player too. That's something that is a value pick for some of these teams. You're going to see that where they have like the young phenoms who are doing really well right now, obviously. But then you also have that combined with maybe one member of the team who has a significant degree of experience.
Yeah, okay, here we can see the counter hit dive kick combo here. And this is where the 2 meters, Joey just really didn't get a chance here. As soon as Abel kind of started feeling himself a little bit, started getting a little bit more loose on this. I mean, his execution is as tight as it could be here. You can see that, just a little bit of a look back to his team. He says, I got this, don't you worry, guys.
That's big for confidence. Even, dude, you're one game into, what, a 1-to-3 set like that, and you're clenching your fists like that. You're looking at your teammates after one game. You got to take it one step at a time, right? If Peru is going to make this happen, they're at a pretty significant deficit. It's really going to be resting on Abel's shoulders. So take it one round, one game at a time like this. Joey Fury, of course, like I gotta say, man, I always put respect on this dude. And it's kind of, Rip was talking about it. He's been running a lot more Jack lately. I love watching his Marta play. I love watching his Marta, and he's one of the players who I love. I love his mentality on the game in a lot of ways. It's really interesting hearing him talk about his approach to certain problems and solutions to a lot of situations that the game presents. So my thing is, Joey, with your back to the wall, congratulations on the new signing and everything like that.
Yeah, FaZe.
You got to show us something right here, though.
That's it, yeah. First game as the new FaZe, Joey Fury. Now, he does pick the Infinite stage here, which is going to be good for that sort of movement-heavy style that Joey Fury does like to kind of rock. Okay. Ooh, starting it off. No break on the 1+2.
Starting it off, baby. We in Saudi Arabia. We going all around the world.
Yep. Ooh, wow, all the way around.
Clean movement from Abel.
All right.
I mean, he showed it early on in game one as well, right? He's looking for the neutral tackles. He's looking to try to neutralize that as much as possible.
Yeah.
Dark Wave willing to zone out a little bit. Force movement from Joey.
Okay. What I'm seeing a lot more from Joey Fury here is this jab. He's leading a lot with his jab. He doesn't want to let Abel get anything big started here.
Yeah, you
see that?
Showing a lot more jab, trying to work the while standing one in there as well. Get some follow-up attacks.
Yeah. Okay. Abel chilling. Maybe trying to frustrate Joey just a little bit. Okay.
Breaks, and there's the knee, looking for the explosion there.
Dang, get out of the air, dude.
Flash hook, man.
Okay, a much more slower paced game. Only 5 seconds left on the clock as that round ended. Joey really slowing the pace of this game down, stopping all of that stuff with jabs here.
That's cool, though. That's Joey playing to his strengths.
Yeah.
He is a player who is willing to play that long game.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, look at that bottom left of the screen here. 2 full bars of meter.
Round 3. Fight.
But like you said, potential energy on the bottom left corner of your screen.
Yeah. All right, there we go. 2 rounds as well for Joey
Apple
here.
Smasher. Joey utilizing these lows a little bit more this round.
Okay. Jump backs here.
Backdash getting out of range of move line.
Again?
Once again, around the world.
No break on the 1+2 here. Maybe Joey just found a little bit of gap in the defense here of Abel the Maestro from Peru. Down jabs, so scary now with the 2 full bars. Oof.
Yeah, that's the thing. You see the whiffs in front of your face like that from the dive piece, but you also see the bottom left corner of your screen. Not gonna matter though. Counter hit in the rage art.
Here we go. And that is it. Joey Fury at 3-0 to answer the 3-0 here. What was different between game 1 and game 2? Do you think, Majin, that it was so one-sided on each game?
Even though it was an infinite stage like that, Joey did a really good job of showing to me this, that's one of the most remarkable things about him is I love his patience and his ability to dissect what happened in the game, slow it down, and then outplay it. Adjust the spacing, think about what's going on, and you saw him, right? Like that first round almost went to timeout, but he was cool. He's cool with that.
Yeah.
He can play very calm, very cool, collected, neutral. And the thing is, like Marta, sometimes out of some matchups, he forces that out of you. You know, a big character like this, obviously, with the backdash, He's still a big character, a big target like that. It's okay if you have the ability to play defensive like that, and that was his approach. You can see the results.
Yeah, a lot of these, the 1+2 throw not broken there by Abel as well.
Yeah, that was at least 2 around the worlds, like then a big return. Yeah. You saw even for Abel's side, right? He was able to build up 2 stocks like that, but Joey didn't really give him too many opportunities to be able to use it outside of if he wanted to force it for pressure or an opportunity, a chance to try to get in.
Yeah, and maybe that might be the thing, because Joey definitely playing that sort of stay away from me, not letting much happen, kind of maybe stopping the jumps with the jab that you're seeing coming out of Joey Fury.
Yeah, you saw him using a lot of jab, a lot of flash hook. You also saw what the knee, right? He's looking to try to crush or maybe catch some step that way.
Yeah, so maybe just burn the meter to get in close might be Abel's play right now, because it seems like Joey was able to completely shut down what Abel wanted to do on this character. But remember, guys, this is a 1st to 3 here because we are in the boss. Abel wants to equalize up the score for the entire set, and Joey Fury just wants to take that home, take that W for him and his team.
Yeah, back to a walled stage here, though, and I have to, you know, especially considering how the first game went. If you remember, Abel was able to get wall control quite often, but right away, Joey Fury looking wide awake here. Jab flew.
Maybe that's what that jab is for.
Running the 1-2. Good break on the around the world that time.
Again, it just
elbow dunk, and then he backs off.
Yep, doesn't need anything here. Just jabbing. Good duck.
So the down forward 3, 1+2 for going for the headbutt there, but Abel.
Range.
Good recognition there. 1+2 throw, not broken.
Ooh, really good defense there. Oh, tried to get over the dark wave. Didn't quite work. Here. Nice step. Counter hit. This is going to put round 1 for Abel the Maestro here. Again in the lead in the set here. Jab, jab.
Despite some really good call-outs from Joey in that round 2 on just, you know, Abel trying to get to the air, trying to run some dive kick pressure. Got some really good floats and some really good call-outs, but this is tough, man. She gets in your grill like that, especially with some meter back, she's very scary.
Yeah, you see Joey really trying to punish that the dark wave with the jumping shoulder over it. Again, jabs. Jabs are the story of this game right now.
Willing to take us down 3 there. Looking for the flash to get the wall.
God, he's so patient. Joey Fury just sat there, accepted those dashes.
Focus level. Focus, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Shoulder, EXDP, that from Abel. Trying to deny the unique wake-up options there, but here we go. Joey with the chance here. Side swap, wants the wall, never mind. Get up low kick. The dive kick, now it's Abel's turn.
Back to the wall.
Ooh, how did it whip?
Twice.
Oh my god.
Whip twice. Okay. Watch that rage now. A lot of damage to be left on the board here.
Flash hook in the rage drive.
Oh, it's so much damage.
On the left.
Oh. Not yet. Looking for the low. Okay, the meter burn.
Punish.
Joey Fury, 2 rounds. Potential final round here of game.
Great patience and great movement from Joey here.
Yeah. Boom, dunks it.
The drop, where you going with it? Looking for the flash hook.
Punish, nice. Really, really good character knowledge here from Joey Fury.
And the high splat.
Throw him. Oh no. Oh no, here come the damage.
And that's good enough damage to return. That's good enough for this situation. Abel, he has 1 bar and a chance. Never mind, Joey Fury.
Damn, add it to the favorites. I like that, you know? I want to see that one again. Wow, incredible play there from Joey Fury. Just turned the whole set on its head. Really, really good stuff. 2-1 now on the score.
Yeah, so far I think Abel, especially if you go back to game 1, right? He was the one with most of the wall control during that set. Yeah. You saw especially towards the end of this game. The end of this game was Joey being able to find the wall. You see how terrifying this character can be, bro, with this, when he's mixing you up with the reversey flip or the Hercules throw like that, right? And then you see what happens.
Did this whiff the twice whiffing on the knee? That was crazy, man. Really good movement there.
But the thing is, you leave Craig with the red dress on. This is what happens, man. Down for it to be able to close out on that. Just out of range, dude. He's like pinpoint with being able to just out of range, open up for these whip punish opportunities. There you see just nice block and rising knee.
Damn, what did he say?
Oh, you're hyping yourself up.
Okay, so here we go. The potential final game now for Team USA here. Wanting to go forward with the W. Abel, we are on stage pick, so I think that means that we haven't seen, although he is hovering on random, because he always has that Eddie that he can switch back to. And we are in the longer sets here now, so maybe for the last chance, he did switch it out to Eddie.
Yeah, and I wonder what that means too, because at that point he's locked in.
Yeah, locked in for the rest of the set. Oh no, we're gonna get a pick. I don't know. So we are operating the rules that we are used to in terms of stage pick or character pick. So for anybody who's been following the solo tournaments for Tekken 7, we understand that rule.
No, he's committed.
Yeah, he's committed. Well, he picked the Duomo de Sirio here. The Sirius Dome. Abel the Maestro rocking that Eliza. He is now locked into that Eliza for the rest of the set. Joey Fury with that jab, leading forward with that jab. Can he stop Abel the Maestro on what he wants to do again?
Yeah, really, I like how you pointed that out. Like, leading with the jab like that to set up for the rest of your pressure and your offense like that. Especially because Craig, you know, he's got such a big build like that. His jab hits out very far like that.
Yeah.
Being able to control the air in front of him. You got to remember, he's tall stature like that, right?
Yeah.
His left arm hanging out like that. Whenever Apple's trying to look for dive kick pressure or something like that, it's going to be good. It's going to have a good chance of being able to float him, set up for an opportunity.
Uh-oh, big tackles coming out. We were talking about the tackles in neutral in game 1. What a step into a launch. This should go downstairs. Yep, and then he's going to grab him, dunk him on his head.
And the finish here? Draw back one.
Down. All right, Joey Fury definitely feeling himself here. But a really, really good point as well about the height of the Marduk jab as it comes out. It really shuts down any of those kind of jump pressures. You see it a lot more against Akuma, kind of jump heavy Akuma.
Characters with taller statures like that, the Kings as well, their jabs, they hit at that height to where, like, you know, like you said, Akuma or Eliza, you can see players, especially at this point in the game's lifespan, they're focused a lot on trying to get those floats like that.
Yeah. Dang, big knee. Coming up.
There's the up 4-3s coming back from Joey Fury.
Yeah. Dark waves. Okay, immediately burns one of the meters with the EXDP. Puts pressure on him.
He's got one more to burn.
Breaks it.
Ooh, lost anyone.
Oh, no! What? He's gonna take it. That's gonna hit. Wow, Abel the Maestro could have very easily just rocked another EXDP there. Could have taken the round, put himself in a position here. Joey Fury, so cool under pressure right there. 2 rounds. Potential final round here now of USA versus Peru.
Big play from Joey too, just having the Eliza players, or, you know, whatever 2D character they're using, having them waste meter like that on rounds.
Yeah, very, very important.
You know, even though Apple's able to build, you know, a bar back like that throughout the course of this round, having them waste meter like that feels very good for you.
Definitely. I mean, it's always the kind of thing with meter characters, you want to go as aggressive as you can while they don't have meter. But Joey's playing it as...
counter hit.
Here we go!
Stomp.
He stomps on him. Team USA, clean sweep. Team Peru here. Now, I don't think anybody had that on their prediction card.
And that's another thing too. You saw as the set went on, he started to dig deeper and deeper into Marduk's move list like that. Counter hit Babel Smasher at the moment he needed, and on counter hit like that too. The Okazeme is very strong.
Yeah.
Right? So he represented the stomp. Likely tried to do a get-up kick maybe, or something like that. But
possibly.
Joey Fury, you know, he kept it together, showed why this American team can be strong. You have the Anakin at the core of it like that, right?
Yeah.
Who in theory could be a boss himself.
Sure.
But Joey can fulfill that role just as well.
Absolutely.
And they're going to be able to play, I think, you're going to see, especially up against France, that's going to be an interesting question when they go up against France later. What kind of team lineup strategies are we talking on both sides, you know?
Yeah.
Because for France, that's definitely a question as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jod and Super Akuma and Guni as well to the Team France. Very, very strong players all individually, but I wonder what that team dynamic is here. But look at this. We saw some really, really cool stuff out of Abel the Maestro, but just wasn't enough here. Joey had that Eliza worked out from what appeared to be very early on. lest we forget, he was 0-3 in game 1 here. Joey Fury like got bodied in the first game, swung it all the way back. It was absolutely an incredible game, and what a start for Team USA here.
Yeah, and the big thing is 3-0 with Joey Fury giving up one game in the last set. That's a pretty solid differential too. That's going to give them good insurance. But with that said, let's check in at the stage and see what they got to say.
Yes, sir.
Joey Fury takes it for the team. I see what you're doing, sir. First off, congratulations. Now, I have a couple of questions, a few, if you will. First off, the curveball. No, Jack, it was the Marduk this time. I know you're a man of many character talents, but the Marduk instead of the Jack, talk to me.
Kind of testing the waters with Jack, I think, in the selector match, just seeing how he's feeling. You know, with me, I can play a lot of characters, so it's all about like just who I'm feeling in the zone with on that day. And Marduk was calling my name, so I had to answer the call.
صحيح اللي شفناه قبل شوي من مباراة المنتخب الامريكي ابدع في المنافسه، كان السؤال شوي عن اختيار اللاعب، ليش انه هم معروفين المنتخب الامريكي بشخصيه جاك، لكن شفناه انه لعب في مارلك، هو قال انه اوكي صحيح انه كان ممكن يلعب، لكن حتى برضه هو كلاعب متعدد الشخصيات عكس الزملاء اللي باقيين اللي معه في المنافسه، لكن يقول السبب الوحيد انه مارلك كان يناديه وعشان كذا لبى النداء واختار الشخصيه.
I got one more question for you, then I'm gonna let you get out of here. I know you got some matches coming. Now, my next question is, you were the anchor this time around, and I know you guys could switch it up at any point. Is that strategic? Is that based on the team you guys play? Was that just like, you know what, I'm feeling hot, I want to play next?
I think with this particular match, well, really the whole tournament, we've been trying to be big planners, like game planning. So the reason this win felt so good is because we really like created a team, or created a plan as a team, and then executed it as a team. So it was definitely calculated, the matchups that we were trying to play into and putting me at anchor. So we're going to continue to plan and execute, and I'm feeling really good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joey Fury.
المنتخب الامريكي جالس يشجع هنا معنا في المنافسه. صحيح السؤال الاول اللي كان انه ليش لعب كانكر في هذه المنافسه، ولكن قال ان هم كانوا دارسين وجالسين يخططون لها بشكل مره ممتاز، شافوا بناء على الماتش اب شلون ممكن يكون في المنافسه، لكن فعلا يقدروا ياكدونها بشكل مره ممتاز ولعبوها بشكل مره مثالي. فعلا اداء اسطوري قدموه المنتخب الامريكي. اعزائنا المشاهدين مره ثانيه اكبر تحيه للمنتخب الامريكي على هذا النصر الاسطوري.
Now, we're going to see what they have to say in the studio.
الحين أعزائي المشاهدين خلينا ننتقل إلى الاستوديو التحليلي نتكلم تفاصيل المباراة ونستعد لكم للمباراة اللي بعدها.
Thank you very much, guys. Another match and another clean sweep. USA taking it over Peru 4-0. I don't think anyone would have predicted that one, guys.
Not that way. Not with the clean sweep, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, Joey at the end right there, it looked like it started off a little bit rough with the Abel versus Joey pick. And then we're like, you know, Joey in the interview, I thought he brought up a great point. Test out the Jack now. What day is it? You know, I have two really strong characters. I got to see what character is hot today.
Yeah, I mean, there's actually a lot to unpack there. So Anakin going first, we were thinking about, is this the right decision? I guess with hindsight, we know that it actually was. You know, they gave the momentum to the rest of the team. Joe Crush then coming in, and there were a lot of questions about Joe Crush, right? People saying that he maybe shouldn't have been in the team, or, you know, there's a bit of a disparity between the strength of Joe Crush and the other two. But he did his thing, man. He took out the captain of Peru.
Yeah, Joe Crush obviously going up against Sergey Master. You know, Sergey, it was close games back and forth throughout, I felt like. Yep. But overall, when it came down to the end of the rounds, when something needed to be done to get the victory, Joe always had the right answer.
Yeah, those mini uppercuts, man, they definitely work out. I mean, especially because he could go into a mid or a low, as we're going to see here. Yeah, he just, at the end, just closed it out with a low, and then right there, the raise drive whiffing. Sergey looked like he was ready for it, and then here it comes. The little mini uppercut, mid or low, and then, yeah, you have to guess.
Yeah, man, and you can see, again, the down 1+2. Joe Crush uses moves that other Jack players do not use, man. There was a big whiff there, no punish from Sergey Master. The pressure was on.
Yeah, then the range drive, so desperate at that range, you know, just hoping to catch a random limb, stray limb, but doesn't find it. And just like that, Joe Crush moved on.
So Joe Crush is going to be our Kidia MVP as well of that set. I believe that his set was very vital to giving the momentum and the confidence to Joey Fury to know that even if he lost his boss match, the team was not going to be out of it. I think that winning those first 2 matches, as Raif said early in his set, that is very, very important. So all the team of USA really stepping up here, guys.
Yeah, and I think, Joe Crush deserves the MVP just for the...
Dude, even after the first game, he was like, yes, like that type of energy
pumped,
is
man.
infectious,
Yeah,
and you know what's the craziest part too? Joey Fury, during the interview, they were saying that they were planning and executing and stuff, and that's the crazy part. Joe Crush showed up last night, last minute. He was the last one here, so it's just the fact that they were able to, come together with a plan and be able to do all that. Very well done.
He dealt with the pressure so well. We know that Joe Crush has come from online, the ICFCs and stuff, and maybe he felt like he had a lot to prove here. That's why we saw the pop-off that we saw, because he's like, you know what, you guys are all counting me out, but here I am. I'm the one that took out the team captain of Peru. I've done my job here. Do not sleep on me. And I feel like that's going to be the story for a lot of these matches here at Gamers8. I feel like there's a lot of teams and players that are maybe being slept on a little bit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Joe Crush, that's always the stigma, right? It's just like, oh, he's just an online player. I don't want to just be heard as an online player. He's here to prove it. He showed it.
Right, well, let's have a look at the group standings right now, because there's been some matches happening on this main stream and some on the B stream as well. So let's have a look and see where we are right now with all the different groups. So on Group A right now, USA, as you can see, USA sitting very pretty there in that '1 spot.
USA.
Yeah, so Peru has a lot of work to do, right? France still has, France has.
I think it's in progress.
France playing a match at the moment against Jordan, I guess. Yeah, so
yep.
That match is in progress right now. But Peru, I mean, they have a lot of pressure on their shoulders now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think they probably expected to do a little better than that, but yeah, USA looking super strong in that last set.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I believe we do have some of the other groups as well, just to keep you guys updated for everything that is happening. Let's have a look at Group B now. And the Philippines took out Germany.
Wow.
Now, that was apparently a very close set. HK took the first match over Dojin. And then Tetsu losing to Jules. And then it went down to a boss match between Sefi Black and Akuma, sorry, AK, who picked Akuma.
Yeah.
Yes, AK Akuma, man. And then Akuma, the AK Akuma, that's hard to say. AK Akuma taking it over Sefi Black. So that is a match for the Philippines.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, that one we knew was going to be a close one, obviously, but Philippines stepping up, man, that was a very, very close one. But Germany, was also like a very favored team, I felt like, so. Shout out to the Philippines.
Yeah, for sure, man. A lot of people have been talking about them, but the Philippines are showing that they are very strong and they've been in the scene for a long time. Let's have a look at Group C, though. Saudi Arabia and South Africa was the first set of the day. The host nation, Saudi Arabia, took that one in a clean sweep. But that first match with Federer was versus Spaghetti was one of the best matches we've had so far, right? It was such a good comeback there, but that was also a clean sweep. I think that every match counts here for this for the standings. You want to get you want to do as good as possible to give yourselves the best chance to make it into the upper bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it seems like the story of today is got to get that first win, get that confidence boost for your team to try to bring it home.
Yeah,
it's pretty wild that we've had 4-0s in both sets that we've seen so far today. I didn't expect to have that happen.
Definitely not, and especially not in the Peru and USA match, but that just goes to show, man, that the pressure can really get to you, and it's all about who rises up to the occasions. But ladies and lads, we are going to go on a short break, and when we return, more amazing matches coming up here at Gamers8.